Before we begin, if you love uncovering the hidden value in old coins, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss a treasure we reveal. Now, let's dive in. Imagine you're opening an old wooden box handed down through generations. Inside, tucked between faded letters and sepia photos, lies a coin you've never paid much attention to. Until today, this is not just any coin. It's a 1975 South African 2 cents. To the casual eye, it might look ordinary. But stay with me. By the end, you'll see why this little bronze disc could mean more than you ever expected. As you turn it gently between your fingers, notice the obverse. The South African coat of arms, bold and proud, flanked by the bilingual inscription, South Africa, Suid-Afrika, and beneath it, the year 1975. On the reverse, there's a striking wildebeest mid-leap, along with the denomination 2C and tiny engraver initials JVZ. OnlineCoin.club +2 and Anonymisteds.com +2. This coin was struck in bronze, has a diameter of about 22.45 millimeters, and a weight of roughly 4 grams. OnlineCoin.club at the time, the mint produced nearly 25 million pieces. That's right, it wasn't made as a rare collector's issue. OnlineCoin.club +1 most circulated widely, passed from hand to hand, ride in pockets, settle in coin jars. N.Pheronym.com +2 and .Pheronym.com +2. So, if millions were made, why would one of them be worth anything special today? Here's where things get interesting. First, condition is everything. That same coin, if heavily worn, scratched, dull, edges rubbed, might fetch just 55 cents to $1.84 in the collector marketplace. En.Pheronym.com. But if it's in extremely fine or uncirculated condition, crisp relief, full details still sharp, the price can climb. N.Pheronym.com +2 and .Pheronym.com +2. Second, there exist proof specimens, special strikes made not for general circulation but for collectors. Proof versions are rare, perhaps only 18,000 in this case being part of the total mintage. OnlineCoin.club. Those proof coins were struck with extra care, deeper relief, and superior finish, making them far more desirable. Even among proofs, the rarest few, in perfect condition, become premium pieces. OnlineCoin.club. Third, the narrative behind the coin adds emotional and historic weight. Think of South Africa in 1975, a nation in flux, shifting identities, economies, and the stories that each everyday object carries forward. That wildebeest leaping across the coin's face becomes more than a piece of metal. It becomes a time capsule. And collectors, especially mature men who value history, feel that weight. That's part of the draw. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Okay, nice story, but give me a number. So let's walk through how an otherwise humble coin could become a $7,510 gem in a collector's hands. Picture a coin just like this, but in virtually flawless proof condition, preserved perfectly over decades, untouched, brilliant original surfaces, and perhaps tucked away in its original mint packaging. That kind of rarity, combined with demand, can drive insane premiums if the supply is extremely limited. Say only a handful of those top-grade proofs survive. Serious collectors will bid aggressively. Add to that the desire each collector has to own the best version, and the value can spiral upward. So what about this exact coin we're discussing? Let's say yours is in a top-tier grade, like Proof 70 if graded professionally, and shows all the hallmarks, razor-sharp details, mirror fields, no blemishes. In that scenario, it becomes the exemplar of its kind. And that's when someone might call me, email me, or come into a shop and be ready to pay whatever it takes. That's how we arrive at a speculative high estimate, in an ideal case, of $7,510. Yes, that's not a guarantee. Almost no coin sells for that unless it checks every box. But that number signals the potential ceiling when all the stars align: rarity, condition, provenance, and demand. Let me also clarify. That $7,510 estimate assumes the proof version in perfect condition. A regular circulation coin, no matter how nice, won't reach that price. most will still trade in the lower dollars. The storyline matters. If someone tells you their 1975 2-cent coin is worth $7,510 without proof or grade, be skeptical. Ask for certification, ask for photos, ask for provenance to give you real reference. Standard circulated examples often sell between 55 cents and $1.84 depending on condition. en.forenum.com on numismatic catalogs. Average values of well-preserved but non-proof specimens are far more modest. n.forenum.com plus 2 nl.numista.com plus 2, but for that very special specimen. That ceiling of $7,510 becomes theoretically possible. Here's what I want you to take away. When you find an old coin, don't dismiss it. Look closely at its condition, edge, surfaces, and design. Ask, is it a proof or regular strike? How many are documented? Is its finish exceptional? Check with professionals, get grading if possible, and never accept a sky-high value claim without documentation. Use that $7,510 figure not as a certainty, but as a reminder. Even small coins can harbor hidden treasures if all the elements align. Now, before we end, here's the reveal. If your coin is that perfect proof specimen in pristine condition, the value could reach $7,510. But again, that's for the rarest, best preserved example, not your everyday find.